Hello and welcome to video 15, Journals in NCBI Databases. Here we are going to learn how to find information about journals rather than articles. We need information about journals in so many contexts like which journal should I subscribe to, or which journal should I read more often, or which journal should I publish in. So many different contexts. Let's figure out how to learn a little more about journals. So the link to it is on the PubMed homepage, just below the mesh database, journals in NCBI databases. When you click there, you are into the journals link. Let's learn how to find a journal by its title, by mesh terms, and something called broad subjects. And we can also find detailed information about a lot of journals. One more thing is the journal abbreviation. If you know the full title and want to know the correct abbreviation, that's something you can find out. Or if you know the abbreviation and you want to know the full title, that's also doable. Let's go online. As I showed you, the link for this is available from the PubMed homepage. Let's do each of these examples and learn a little more. So we are in the PubMed homepage and I'm clicking Journals in NCBI databases. So here I am. It's important to note that this thing is really a subset of the entire National Library of Medicine's catalog. So anything which we are going to search, we are actually searching the NLM catalog, but not the entire catalog, only the journals that are referenced in NCBI databases. PubMed is one of them. So let me start by typing Indian Journal of Tuberculosis. If I wait a little, I get a drop down with the full title which begins with the article the Indian Journal of Tuberculosis. I need to pick that up, click search. So here there's only one journal with this specific title and we are seeing what is called a full display. Just like in PubMed, when we search for articles, we have the abstract display, which is longer than the summary. This is the full display for this journal. Let's see what all information is available about this. So author or whoever is creating this is the Tuberculosis Association of India. You have the NLM title abbreviation as well as something called the ISO abbreviation. Each of these may need to be used in different contexts. For us, while writing references in journal articles, etc., we need to use this correct abbreviation, NLM title abbreviation, which is Indian J. Tuberc. Full title is here. It started publication in 1953, 4 issues a year, etc. There are so many such details. We also know that it's available in PubMed only since volume 54, number 1, not before that. We also see it is currently indexed for Medline, that is, the articles in this do get mesh terms. And here we see mesh terms tuberculosis. That means for tuberculosis journals, they do have a mesh term tuberculosis. So if we search this database with tuberculosis mesh, we'll find lots more tuberculosis journals. There is something called broad subject terms. In this case, it is communicable diseases. So if we thought of finding infectious disease journals, we could actually try and type communicable diseases, and the tag for this would be ST, which is subject terms. Okay. So we found out for this journal, we'll later on do those searches. Let's go back to the presentation and let's look up Indian Journal of Medical Ethics. So I'm going to type Indian Journal of Medical Ethics. Indian Journal of Medical Ethics. This time we are seeing two results, and you can see this is the summary display. What we saw earlier was full display. We could change this as well. But before that, what I'd like to show you here is one says Indian Journal of Medical Ethics, which is what we searched for, and it says started in 2004. Second one says issues in medical ethics. Now I'm going to click the second one, and here we get to learn that it's continued by Indian Journal of Medical Ethics. And we'll see here, it started in 96, ended in 2003. So from 2004, it's continued by Indian Journal of Medical Ethics. Before 96, it had just medical ethics. So we get to know the historical name change of a journal as well. That's the way we can use this journal database to find out more. What else? Yes, we have the link to the website of the journal and so on. Here, the mesh term is ethics medical. Let's look at the third one, which is public health action. So here we have the title public health action. Let's click this. This one, we know it's a publication of the Union, and if we scroll down, we find so many mesh terms for this one. So actually, if we want to find journals in all these, we would actually have to search all these mesh terms to get an idea of the variety of journals available in which we might want to publish our article. Here, it also says that it is in PubMed as well as PubMed Central. So once we know it's in PubMed Central, we know that the articles are usually open access because PubMed Central is an archive. So we might choose such journals to publish our articles so that they are more easily accessible for everybody. So this is how you get detailed information about a journal from the NLM catalog. Now, I'm just going to point out one thing with the first search that we did, which was Indian Journal of Tuberculosis. When we started from the home page of the journals in NCBI databases, it gave us the drop down and we chose the correct title, which started with the Indian Journal. Here, I'm going to again type that Indian Journal of Tuberculosis. When I'm here, it's not giving me a drop down. And if I search, okay, I still got it. Sometimes if the article or some point is not there, it says no items found. In such a case, we could even do a search like this, which is just Indian TI. This is title of the journal, and tuberculosis TI. In this case, unlike PubMed where TI was the article title, here it's the journal title. So I search, and again I'm here at this journal. So these are different ways we could search for a journal. Now let's say we want journals about tuberculosis. So tuberculosis is a mesh term, as we saw in, we can check it again in this record itself if we scroll down. Tuberculosis is a mesh term given for this journal. The broad subject term is communicable diseases. So if I search tuberculosis mesh, I have 141 results. You can see some of them say not currently indexed for Medline. We have all this here. So if we want only those that are indexed for Medline, we can click this filter, journals currently indexed in Medline. So we've come down to just 9 journals. That's a very low number. So I remove this filter and I say show additional filters. I ask for PubMed PMC, that is PubMed Central Journals, show, And now I click PubMed Central Journals. Oh, okay. I've been searching tuberculosis mesh. So that also is less numbers here. Let's get that out and do PubMed journals, the whole lot of them. That's 137. That's a large number. And we may want to restrict to English. So we've got 76 journals that we could choose from. Okay. So this way we could apply filters, do searches. So I'm clearing these filters. So earlier I had said that when we are searching the journals in NCBI databases, we are searching a subset of the NLM catalog. Where is that subset? By default, the filter journals referenced in NCBI databases, that is PubMed, and some more within that are all referenced. So that is a filter which is there by default. Okay, so we've done tuberculosis mesh, we did this. Just to broaden our search, we could remove tuberculosis mesh and just have tuberculosis. Run the search again. This time we have a still larger number. Now suppose I want to publish in tuberculosis journals from India. How do I do that? I need to go to advanced, and so first I come here and I choose country of publication. I type India and say search. So India country of publication, there are 798 journals, and then I add and tuberculosis. So now I've got three. Let's see what the three are. So Indian Journal of Tuberculosis is there. There is something called Journal Bengal Tuberculosis Association, and there's a broader one which says Health for the Millions. Let's click Health for the Millions and see how this one came up. If we scroll down, the word tuberculosis is here. Some issues have a distinctive title, tuberculosis, etc. That's how this one came in. It did a word search. Now, if we want to know whether we should be trying to publish in this, it says it started in 1993 and there's no end year, so it's probably continuing. If we scroll down, okay, there's nothing more. Just like the mesh database, I can say add to search builder. So it puts in this Health Millions journal, search PubMed. So there are 216, but the latest is all the year 2000. After that, nothing seems to have got added. So I wouldn't try to publish in this one because I'm not sure if it's continued or not. I go back. The other one is Journal Bengal Tuberculosis Association. Let me try this one. I choose this one, say add to search builder and search PubMed. So this has just 5 results, all 1946. Obviously, I wouldn't want to publish in this one either. So that leaves me with Indian Journal of Tuberculosis, or we found the Union's Journal, Public Health Action. So these would be choices in which I would try to publish, or of course, some others that we narrowed down by choosing English language and PubMed journals. So these are ways in which we could try to find details about journals. The last thing I'd like to show here is if you want a subject based thing. So for instance, if I type pediatrics ST, which is subject term, I click search. There are 306. If I want to know how many are indexed in Medline, that's 163. Out of which maybe how many are in English? 162. So a pediatrician has this choice in terms of what all journals they might want to publish in. I'm going back to the presentation. So we saw these. We also found out which tuberculosis journal could I send my article to. We tried PubMed Central, we tried Indian Journal, we got some choices. So, a recap, you can search for journals by journal name. For example, you could put in the short form NEJM or New England Journal of Medicine. Interestingly, the correct journal abbreviation for this is NENGL Med. So that's the correct official abbreviation that one must use when referencing. That you can find by searching this journal by name. Mesh terms, you could try something like tuberculosis, which is assigned as a mesh term to journals that are about tuberculosis. Broad subject term, example we saw was pediatrics. Abbreviations, again, an example is if we look for Indian Journal of Tuberculosis, the correct abbreviation is Indian J Tuberc. We can't just write IJT or something like that because that may be common to so many journals. So this is the way you use the journals in NCBI databases link in PubMed to learn a lot more about journals. Thank you.